Hello. Hello, Christy. Hello, Chibi. Apparently there's been no frame man shenanigans on my end, so we're gonna have to blame Twitch for that one, I'm afraid. Hello. How are we all doing on this, I want to say new week, but obviously 1 3/4 days have already gone through. Twitch man! The worst superhero. You are tired! I am tired. I know the feeling. This is again Tuesdays. Just feel tired. What is it about Tuesdays? I always say it's like Wednesday with hump day. It's just or Mondays because it's the first day back after the weekend. But no, Tuesdays for me. Which is obviously draw through days. Arguably the stream I have to put the most creative energy into. But here we are. Tuesdays are the November of the week. That's
Linen room.
Linen room! Dear. One day we'll play more Hitman games. I was thinking actually of putting all the games that I want to play at some point on stream into my random generator and having that pick what game we play next. That might be something to do. Because then it'll be unexpected. So maybe we will play a Hitman game. Or maybe we won't. I'd like to at some point. Anyway, enough of that. Enough of me rambling on about things that aren't relevant. Let's hop on over to the 16 symbols that are there. In various places. Look at that, almost done. Only one column to go, although that column will probably take 3 streams. So yeah, last time we fought a building. It happens. You're painting and therefore occasionally lurking again because your reference pick is on the iPad as well as Twitch and the little thumbnail screen is not chattable. Oh. That's fine, have a grand old paint. Yeah. So yeah, last time let's have a look at what we did last time. Last time was again sleepy stream. We fought a building because we needed a boss. The building was being controlled, in inverted commas, by a capitalist who was having a bit of a time. And then we went to Magma City, which we haven't done anything there yet. We just needed to go to a new place. And you love the Zibus building boss. It was just I couldn't think of anything else, quite frankly. I wanted it to be a climax of that part of the story. So like the corporation story is over now. It's now time to conclude the shrimp story. Made Magma City look so cool, but you did forget something. What did I forget? Was it snacks? Was it lava snacks? I always forget things. Oh, a little sign that says you're not allowed to swim. Oh, yes. Oh, the cartoon whacking, yes. I can add that. What am I doing? Things. Give me colors, right? Yes, of course. Kind of works. Essential part of the Magma City design, yes. So one of the first things you see when you come in. It's also quite a big sign, actually. Perspective. Don't worry about it. Right, so we've arrived in Magma City. We are wrapping up the story because this is our penultimate location. Although the last location can be sprawling and varied, but it nonetheless is considered a singular location. Yeah, so we're in Magma City and we need to meet new characters and then have an unrelated boss fight. Because that's exactly what you want to prepare for the end of the game. Have a completely unremarkable boss fight. Now, Ragdoll did say in Discord. If I can find it. Here we are. The characters we meet in Magma City should be head scholars, mages, alchemists, engineers, etc. The dark design for the city. We should hand over the data disk to the people because we got a floppy disk from Orbit. We should hand it over to them to analyze, and then they argue about what to do with it because they're all very narrow-minded in their perspectives, and we solve the problem by all working together. I paraphrased. Yeah. Also, Ragnar is reminding us that any character who has previously appeared in the story can return. Ragnar's always good for coming up with sensible ideas. Yes, indeed. Which is absolutely outside of the brief of this game. This game should consist of nothing but absurdity. Cool. So I guess I have to draw something. That is a tradition on these streams. That at some point I draw. Okay, let's design some scholars and alchemists and bitses and bobses. If you have a specific character that would be worth introducing, we can do that as well. We can introduce as many or as few characters as we would like. So Ragnar said scholars, mages, alchemists, and engineers. So we'll design one of each. Why not? And then they can do the YMCA. Okay, scholar. Magma City scholar. Brain. Let's come up with shapes. Each of them have their own shape, and then we'll work from there. Scholars, mages out. Okay, engineer's going to be big and round, big and bulky, like that. Be sort of engineer shape. Gonna pull up Dark's Tomb of Magma City lore. Tome of Magma City, yes. Although Tomb of Magma City, that sounds pretty cool. Okay, we got that. We can have the alchemists, mages, and scholars. Let's have one that's sort of really tall. None of these have to be human, I guess, but... Well, no, they do have to be human. Because they have to be alive. But they don't have to be a sensible design. A sensible human design. Scholar in there, sort of like something like this would look a big old crick. Oh, that's a scholar. Somebody keeps looking over books. As is tradition in this game, the engineer has a pair of goggles. This is the goggle game. Lots of characters have goggles. Oh, hello. In the term of law... Oh, it's Dark here. Hi, Dark. Hi, Giro. Oh, I'm going to have to scroll up now. In the term of law, Dark says there's 3 heads. Head of engineering, head of mages, head of alchemists. Engineer, Mickey, Gnome, brimming with... Okay, we have specific characters, so let's get rid of this. Brimming with energy, advocate of extensive testing under some incredibly unlikely circumstances. Familiar with a live bomb. That doesn't matter anymore. That might have already gone off. Alchemist Elizabeth Talma, human, no nonsense, function over fashion world record for 100-meter dash, instructs all the guilders to keep fit and join the magma jogging group at least twice a week if you can't outrun your experiments. You're not an alchemist. Mages, John Maxwell, human, bearded and jovial, large man, more muscle than fat, organised the magma joggers group meets up in the early hours of the morning jog to run around the city to keep fit and gossip. Cool. No apologies for the dump. We need this information. Hi Kiro. Hi Doc. How are you all doing? Are we well? So yeah, as a quick recap from last time, we fought a building which was being controlled, air quotes, by Cat, which we then defeated and then went to Magma City, and nothing's happened. So now we're here. We need to meet new characters and fight an unrelated boss, and then we're going to go to the end of the game. So never be sorry for infoterms, particularly when I ask for them. If I ever ask for something and then get angry that you give it to me, kick me in the shins. Dump anytime. That's, yeah, context sensitive. Okay, so okay, so we've got three shapes. Our three shapes now are I don't really know how to do a gnome in this world. I don't think I've drawn a gnome. Maybe that big. Then large old friend here, and then tall alchemist character here. Never long nose. Forgot about Bummy, his fuse will have gone out. Yeah. It'll go back on again eventually. You know what you said. So how I have to design 3 characters here. Engineer, Mickey Gnome, again, goggles. Always goggles. I don't know what a gnome's hair looks like. Sort of pointing up like that. Have a big nose. It's brimming with energy apparently, so how's everybody's week beginning thus far? The gnomes that big is? I do know. We're gonna draw things. Whose idea was this? Terrible idea, if you ask me. It's like another tool belt. Along here is an engineer. It's got lots of tools. All nondescript fantasy tools. Busy beginning. We've got a chance to rest today and tomorrow. Fantastic. Week's going okay. Been compiling the commissions list. I'm going to be playing Inscription after this. Ooh. Have fun. Dark just out of nowhere gifted me a game. Like, what? And it was a game I was looking forward to playing that came out today. It's like, what? You gifted it to me 2 hours before it was released. How did that work? I don't know how that works. Anyway, suffice to say, I've changed what game we're going to be playing after Alone in the Dark 2. Autumn is making you sleepy. Therapy made you cry a lot, and you've only been able to listen to one song on repeat for the last 3 days. So, I know I definitely feel the autumn is making you sleepy thing. That is, waking up in the dark now is, well, Dark is magic. Dark is dark magic. I imagine he's holding something. Maybe the bomb? That's just a bomb, there's nothing going on. No. Not happy about it. Autumn makes you sleepy and it's not even November yet. Usually November is your I'm so tired and everything is awful month. Oh no! Which you'll have to do things to help the chib get through autumn. Everybody, come up with ideas. You had November, yeah. The alchemist was described as what, function over fashion? This would tell me human, no nonsense function over fashion. World record 500 meter sheets. Quick. Yeah, cool. Very long straight hair. You're trying to think of something and your mind is blank. Oh, this is a hard problem. It was a... We don't necessarily need to solve that problem. We could just try and make it a better time. Come up with some fun things to cheer up the jib in the day. Mickey, look at him. No fuse, no smiling face, no floating around getting in the way. Elizabeth, fuse caused anxiety, the smile was sinister, and you made my third point. John, don't worry, lad, we'll figure it out and get him up and in the way again in no time. Love some good character dynamics. She's wearing alchemical robes over her just running gear. She's been out for a jog. You're trying to think of something to GF for TV2 and your mind is empty. You'll have to trade in for another mind. Yep. And this character was... John Maxwell, human, bearded and jovial, large man, more muscle than fat, organized joggers, so on and so forth. The mage. So here's a mage hat. I don't know what mages' hats are in this world. but he's definitely having a mage hat. The big old nose. A fit alchemist is an alchemist that is around to learn from their mistakes. Bowler hat. Using bowler hats are fun hats. Why not? We've already used the stereotypical witch hat to be for nurses, so why not mix it up? It's like, oh, let me cast this spell. See if I can try and get something working here. Oh, frizzle, frazzle, fool. Top hats are for snicks. They're sturdy hats. They were invented to withstand things falling on your head. Fantastic. Metal reinforced edge. You've got a metal hemisphere. And just put felt over the top of it. Layers drawing, so here. Hi. Oh. Drawing is hard. It's gonna be weird after this going back to doing a draw through where I know at the beginning of the stream what I'm gonna draw. On the plus side, big robes, less anatomy. Yeah, I'll stick with that. A Stitch in Time cheered you up today? I'm just thinking of the Jethro Tull song, and I'm assuming it's not that. I think it was Gamekeeper's the first ball. Oh. Was there a fun, no pressure, wholesome, swoopy drawing prompt list video that sparked you up? Ooh, cool. I did find apparently there's a thing where people are making like prompt lists. Using an AI. They made an AI create a prompt list and tried to draw based on that, and that seems wonderfully absurd. But it's spooky ways to fill a sketchbook. I do want to get into physical drawing more, partly to actually get me away from a computer. Yeah, I just realised I didn't actually finish off the Alchemist. Probably should. That's another loosely. Yes, this is badly organized. What's the word? I guess it is composed. It's composition, but it feels like the wrong word. AI art prompts. How have we not thought of that yet? I could, you know, we could do for a stream. I could get up that OpenGL, is it called? Could probably get that up and use that for prompts or something. Also, you're working on the Digimon Kira, which you're doing for some reason, and the art style is so ugly. It's there's a lot of bits, if I remember correctly. It's very bitty. What about art style and the character design is fine, it just looks ugly. Yeah, I'm working on... I only have 2 more to do. And I'm working on one of them, which is probably the most complicated one. Atlas was the most time-consuming. This is probably the most complicated. And it's all colour. And I'm like, I can't do colour! So yeah. But I'm almost done. I'm almost done with around OC-tober, and I can stop work on it and then sit there and go, what do I do now? Actually, that's not true. I've got a couple of commissions coming in, so that's going to be fun. Digimon's all over the place with design. Was it prior to or concurrent to, or post? You're sorry. It's not your fault. I'm just trying to do justice to the character. It's hard. It's hard to make the character look good and do that style. I could probably do a bowl of fruit like that, but character, well, even then. Colour. I stress over it. I'm not stressing, I'm just trying to work out how to do it properly. It's tricky, I'm trying to learn, it's problem solving, you know? I come from maths. Stressing over things is just, you know, half of the course. I've got a head start in that department. Spending far too long sitting there going, oh, how do you do this though? Anyway, here's the magma crew. Like you know, Pokemon keeps updating the character designs to fit with the more current anime. Digimon decided to just not do that. Well, there's some admiration to be had there. Appreciate the consistency. I imagine it's a bit of a pain in the ass for the animators. Having to keep swapping style for every character, but right, so what were the characters' names? We have... Scroll. Mickey. Oh, Mickey, you're so fine, You explode the mine. Hey, Mickey. Be dwarves more than gnomes, wouldn't it? Mickey, engineer. You have... Elizabeth. With an S. Elizabeth. Talma. Human no nonsense. Alchemist. And John Maxwell. All's well at Maxwell. Mage. I don't know why. Whenever I write on stream, I write in all caps, and I never write in all caps anywhere else. It's weird. Old versus new character designs, they just recolored. They did, didn't they? They didn't even bother redoing the line art. The one character has different line art. That is, the movie had a different style, which was very off. That's a movie. Doesn't count. I'm by a different team. Final Fantasy The Spirits Within has a different style. Right. So we have these three, and apparently they're arguing over what they need to do with the... We arrive. Okay, what happens when the team arrives? We arrive in this place. What are we doing? How do we meet people? How do we get to see these people to help us? What's the actual, introduction to these things? We met these people before? Does Poison Nurse know them? Does Bran know them? Gregory? Maybe Bran's been here. Maybe that's how Bran got the arm made. To come to Magma City where all the tech is. You know? Again, this is a weird world where steam trains are new and exciting, but there's also bionic arms. It would make sense for Bran to have come from here. To have come from here, he says clearly. I somehow look. I mumble so badly. I somehow managed today to say the word flapjack so incoherently that somebody heard it as brownie. It's like, how do you do that? At least one of Bran's SOs currently lives in Magma City. Cool. What? I know. I think that was probably a half and half of me being bad at pronouncing things and them being bad at hearing, but still. I don't know. I've always been bad at pronouncing things clearly. Saying things out loud with clear pronunciation. Maybe worse at hearing than you are at pronouncing. It's a two-way street. Well, actually, it's a one-way street, but there are two participants. It's a two-way street. There's somebody at the entrance gate and somebody at the exit gate, and they both got to be on the ball. They just wanted a brownie. Maybe. But we had flapjack. Who doesn't like flapjack? Apart from people who don't like oats or syrup. Okay, so Bran knows this place. Bran, absolutely coming forward again as one of the more competent people in this story. We will have the discussion in Magma City after basically it's just turned into concrete rubble. And we're like, well, what do we do now? We have this floppy disk and this crystal, which we know there's something to do with the crystal that could possibly, reabsorb energy. And dissipate it back to where it originally came from. This is how Flo has been revived. That's the one familiar who stands. Two. Sorry, actually, there's two familiars because Poison Nurse is Frog also. Or is it Toad? Can you guys make something that can reveal what's on this floppy disk? They just pull out a computer. What, you mean this? The problem is hearing. Even in your own language, you have to have subtitles on. One of the reasons you stop consuming normal local media because it ain't subbed. That's a shame. I have trouble. It's not hearing what's going on, but if there are two competing audio sources. Pulls out a computer. What's that? What the hell? What do you call that? The engineer just goes, look, we explained the technology level in this world is very poorly defined. Ill-defined. I wrote the script for the new video I'm working on at the moment, and I use the phrase well-defined far too much. So, yeah. So we get a thing with the floppy disk and so on and so forth. And Ragdoll's idea was that there's an argument that erupts about how to properly use it, or an argument that erupts about how to properly use the crystals, or something like that. And it's only by working together that we can solve the problem once and for all. What's on the floppy disk? Do we find that out now? Is it maybe solutions for how the crystals work? And why would Orbit have that? I don't know. It's fine, it's just a computer. Corey pokes at it with his cane. This is why Bran's just sort of done with the rest of the world. I could be at home just playing computer games. Why am I here? Why am I dealing with these people who think a steam train is amazing? Hang on, I need to... Discord does the thing where if I read a thing, it no longer tells me there's a new message, which is absolutely makes sense, but at the same time, I want to be reminded about the thing that I just read. Discord, please. Okay, now there's going to be a thing on the thing saying that there's new unread messages, and you can never win. I had the option to work from home, but no, I really thought I wanted to be more adventurous. Boy, do I regret that decision. Bless. You know, you'll get out, you'll meet new people, visit new places. Cuts to Wick and Gregory having a knife and cane fight out in some soggy field. I completely forgotten what I was saying. Yes, what's on the floppy disk, do we think? Did Ragdoll have any ideas? Ragdoll from the past, help! No, that's tabletop RPGs. Where are we? Projects. 16 symbols! Raising out gets magical about what it means. Okay, so Ragdoll says, it could be interesting for them to not manage anything that works at a massive scale now, and swoop in later in the final area with a solution made by working together. Cuts to Wick and Gregory fighting in a field. Bran turns to the camera. The theme tune to Curb Your Enthusiasm begins playing. Okay, thought. I've had a thought. Might not be a good thought, but it's a thought. What if the alchemists... the alchemist, the mage, and the engineer, the magma brain boxes, the magmaticians, what if they can get the floppy disk and they can analyze some of the data, but they're arguing over what it means and so on and so forth, and they don't get as much information. But they do ascertain enough. I was quite pleased with magmaticians. That's all right. They've probably got a more fancy name. I like magmaticians. So yeah, so they can analyze some of the information and they can ascertain ways of briefly reverse engineering this whole crystal magnification thing so that they can focus some of the energy, but they're going to need some of the energy to actually do it. And we're like, okay, we can test this. What we need to find a big monster that is holding all of this magical energy. And if we kill it, release all of the energy, if you can capture it and focus it back and revive our friends, then we know it's going to work. And then once you stop arguing, you can work on a bigger version while we go and try and get all that magical energy back. And that way we can have a random boss, which is the thing we have to kill to get the energy. We can get all of the characters back by having just a small localized resurgence of the magic. And we can set up how us defeating the big monster full of stuff at the end is actually going to re-disseminate all of the magic back to where it... I was going to say where it started. I guess it started in Shrimp God. We're kind of undoing the reversal. We're re-reversing. My brain's almost working. All I had to do was make a pun on the word mathematics. Making this story work somewhat. I'll take that. I never thought when we set this up, I never thought I would get to the point of the story somewhat working. Particularly not by now. I thought that by now it would just be a completely gibbering wreck of absurdity. But if anything, it's become more concrete as time's gone on, even if the world building is a bit iffy. We've kind of... Do you know what's interesting? Is we've kind of reinvented the kind of world of Final Fantasy VIII. Of like just this... We've set up this world, and then the technology just becomes radically inconsistent, and then by the end we're like in a place where the technology is way beyond anything anybody previously in the game even thought could have existed. And it's like, we did this just by writing ahead and not paying attention. The writers of Final Fantasy VIII tried to do that deliberately. I think that's more of an indictment on FF8 than it is on us. Isn't the world building supposed to be iffy? I mean, not supposed to be. I was resigned to it being iffy eventually. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have. They're like cylinders in this world, so I'm gonna have a cylinder, a science tube. This is the city of cylinders. And magma, I guess. I guess there's a bit of magma around. I like the idea that everyone refers to it as Magma City, but when you get into the city, they're like, no, this is Cylinder City. What are you talking about? Then you're surrounded by magma. Well, yeah. Your city's surrounded by grass, but don't call it Grass City, do we? We'll figure it out in post. It's fine. Science tube, which, as is tradition, as a callback to our very first draw through. I still have a sticker on my monitor that says elevator. It's just a silly little thing that makes me laugh. It's not a science tube without an elevator, no. It's gonna be an uncomfortable wake up. How elaborate? How do legs work? Sure, good enough. Joke still makes you smile. I'm glad. However many draw-throughs in we are. Six draw-throughs? 6 draw-throughs in, we're still making the same joke. Gil's gonna wake up with a lot of back pain. He doesn't have a spine, it's fine. Can Gil feel? Just immediately like, make me not sentient again, please. To be fair, it was kind of like that normally. Then we got the crystal that we got. Stick it in the thing. I guess we can have... I can't remember how to draw an onion, but there's a hint there. It's an optional character. We can cut that PNG out, depending on whether or not you got him in the party. I guess Loaf is also in here. The weekend game also get shroomed back. I guess so? Would that be too much? There's space in the tube. So I guess it also makes sense for the bomb to be in here, which is a bit dangerous, but you know. The scientists are obviously, sorry, the mathematicians are going to want to get in on the action. Colin as well. Yep, quite right. Correct. Hang on, I can probably get that. Because Gabe's pretty big, so. Wick. It's probably best to keep Wick away from the bomb, right? So, good news, miss. If you're watching this, Wick is not in Gregory's pocket. Much to my chagrin. Yes, and Colin. Oh, no, there's no face. Bran dragged Gabe along for so long, and if he wasn't allowed in the tube after all that effort, she would have screamed. Yeah. I forgot Bran was dragging Gabe. Oh no. I guess if there are any other familiars from the scientists in the room, should probably get them in. Is there anyone I'm missing? Did we ascertain if Grigori had a... Oh, yeah, he does. He had a... I can't remember what it was now. Jibby designed it. But they just never appeared in the story, I guess? Now we just need a monster to fight. Well, luckily Magma City has a ready supply of lava snakes. They have a ready supply of what now? And Buffy in the tube was the hardest part, probably. Probably, yes. His familiars are in his apartment. Yes, because he has a fish and a little fighting friend. I can't remember what they were. It's ruined now thanks to them going wild, but he doesn't know that yet. They'll be fine by the time they regain sentience. By the end of the story, they'll be fine. Whether or not they'll clean up the apartment. Maybe that's a little post-credits minigame. I'm gonna clean up the apartment before Grigori gets back. Or that's just the sequel to this game. The sequel to this game is just like a kind of WarioWare style cleaning up minigame, and everyone's like, why is this the sequel? Okay, Discord keeps... Look, Jibby, you're here. Yes, I will participate in the thing that you said. And I can say that so that Discord will stop telling me that I have unread messages. Because if I say that I've read it, I will forget that it's there and not reply to it after the stream. The sequel is Goon's Life Simulator. The Goon Life. I don't know, I wrote the script for the new video, and it's just the amount of times I say something like Googology, Goo Galaxy, Google. Yeah, and you don't ironically play that game. Sounds fun. There was someone I follow online whose name was in my head right up until I started that sentence. Sebastian... I've never said this out loud. Lake? I'm gonna go with Lake. And he just does a bunch of stuff with games, just sort of making games, and he made this thing where it's like it randomly generates a game idea, and then he just spent a week working on a game where you're a superhero who has to vacuum their apartment because ghosts keep attacking you, and he just documented his process of how he made it, and I just like the idea of doing that as games, like rather than thinking I'm going to make a platformer or I'm going to make a dating sim. I need to make a game about vacuuming your apartment as a superhero while ghosts are trying to attack you. Okay. What even is that mechanically? Oh, that's a mood forgetting to reply because the message was already read. Yes, marking messages as unread is probably the most common feature I use in Discord. Yeah, okay, so this is happening, and then we'll want to symbolize the fact that there's no real organization here by the fact that everyone's still arguing over how to implement this thing. How tall are characters? How big are characters? Oh, now I've got to remember how to draw these characters. You didn't know you could do that? Yes, it's an amazing feature. Everyone should know it. Because otherwise I would forget to reply to half the things people actually talk to me about on Discord. Characters in this game are either tall TM or small TM with no in between. Hope that helps. It does. And Brad fluctuates. Brad is quantum height. Surely that should be Schrodinger. I will say, as a little cartoony design, I quite like that. The really long, straight ponytail. I don't think I've seen that in anything. It's just sort of... It's nice when you accidentally do something original, you know? Oops. On the non-existent wiki, there's a list of canon character heights, and the only thing it says for Brad is taller than Mo. That doesn't narrow it down, though, really, does it? Always remember, the beard is very rarely the bounds of the head. Try and remember where the head is when you're drawing the mouth. Otherwise, it looks weird. Does to me, anyway. Schrodinger just says question mark, question mark, question mark. Honestly, what did you expect? He's on roller skates most of the time. It's hard to tell. You won't stand still long enough. You can measure his speed or his height, but never both. That's Eisenberg, isn't it? You like this imaginary wiki? Don't say that. Possible to make a wiki for something non-existent thing? I think so, yes. Again, Googology. Yeah, it's an existing draw-through, so it's theoretically possible to make, like, you know, at the very least, you know, you could argue a wiki for this entire stream, and then you could have 16 simple stuff on it, or whatever, but... You'd be surprised the number of wikis that are out there. What was one? I found one the other day, and I was like, this shouldn't exist. And it barely does, because it only has, like, 2 pages on it. It's holding a hammer. I often wonder whether it's worth, like, working on, like, a longer comic or something like that. In the sort of style of these draw-throughs where I have, like, 2 hours to do an entire scene, to sketch an entire scene, rather than, like, agonizing over details and composition and stuff like that. So no, just get the sketch done as quickly as physically possible. Like an outline of a hand you can sort of see resting on there. Why are you seriously considering making a wiki now? This is why I said don't mention it. GB already doesn't have enough times to do all the things they want to do. Too many things to do and not enough time. Right. Perspective be damned, we have this. Makes a bit more sense. Give you a different idea to think about, you can't make an entire wiki. Well, we were talking about doing a sketch and then passing it to someone else to finish. You can think of ideas for that. Christy has the spooky draw thing. What else was there? There was something else, can't remember. But that, yeah, it's got stuff there. No wikis for Jeeb. Unless I completely run out of ideas in the future and we just decide to do this, actually make this game. I don't know why we would, it sounds awful. But it's a lot of stairs in this thing. Just a funny thought. It's you know, it's like this game existing. Shouldn't happen, but it's funny to talk about it. There's 3 7-hour stair sequences. We can't do that to ourselves. Oh, no. Yeah, you misunderstand. It will take no time at all to program that. We don't have to play it. We just make it. Someone else's problem. You just code a stair sequence that takes 10 seconds. And then you go, okay, 7 hours is 60 minutes, so that's 420 minutes. And then times that by the 6. Lots of 10 seconds in a minute. So that's 2,520 copies of the stair sequence. So we'll just put that stair sequence in, and then the player has to do it 2,520 times. And then the scene will advance. And then copy and paste that twice more in the game. How long did it take to make it 7 hours? It's simple. No problem at all. Making something long in a game, real simple. That's why it happens too much. Making something just the right length, really hard. Yes, so we have all this, and we the arguments about how to do it, and oh, I think you should do this, no, I should do this, etc., etc. Meanwhile, the main characters, or the remaining conscious, alive, sentient, whatever you want to call them, characters. Do you know? I just remembered Bran's bird, Raven. Is it a raven? Crow? Completely forgot about that. Put that in there. Raven. Put in Boib. Ravens always look annoyed. I saw a raven the other day. They always look annoyed. Just because I saw a raven doesn't mean I know how to draw one. I think the only thing this Raven's done is stolen a coin from the goons while they were trying to use the payphone. Which, I mean, fair enough. Just like Bran. It fits. Okay, meanwhile. Actually, meanwhile. We are auto-saving. Convenient timing. How big is this file now? All of the drawings for the draw-through are in this file. I named this file 16 symbols hyphen part 1 to something .clip. Because I just imagined at some point I would stop and say, oh, this is part 1 to part 7 or whatever, and then I'll start a new file for part 8. No, we're on part 29 and we're still going. This is 583 megabytes of file. It's half a gigabyte. Which means they contributed more to the team than Grigori. Too much file. Like, that's the sort of average size of the file if I'm recording a time lapse, you know? But I'm not. It's just drawing. They always just hang out where you live. Nice. Have an impressive piece. I bought a half decent. I bought a low-end high-performance computer, if that makes sense. Like, if you look at all the high-performance computers, I picked the cheapest one. And that was like 6 years ago now, so it's all right. It's plodding along. It's doing good. Because I wanted to do like video editing and all that sort of stuff. So. Right. But now, apparently, my CPU is not good enough to upgrade to Windows 11. Which is annoying, because I like the idea of having Windows 11, because apparently Windows 11 can run apps on it, like mobile apps. Which means, theoretically, I can actually use bloody Instagram on my computer. Because I hate having to open up my phone every time I want to use it. Boss Tim! Right. So yeah, we now go out and fight a big old snake. So for reference, here is one of the first pieces of art drawn for this. Apparently on the 15th of March. It was the 15th of March I received it, maybe. Love snake! Ah! The snake of plot convenience. We were talking about these snakes right from the beginning, and they were always here, waiting to be used. And now we have a use for them! Better than the orphanage of plot convenience, yeah. This will be the third massive snake I've drawn, because I'm pretty sure we did a massive snake and then drew it again after it had become corrupted. Only this one is lava. Let's try and actually get some semblance of perspective on this one, though. It's just sort of looking like Barney the dinosaur at the moment, but how do snakes do? Accidental snack theme. With a big crest like the spitting dinos. Ooh. remember what they look like. It's been a while since I watched Jurassic Park. Oh yeah, the big fanny thing. It's sort of like that. I quite like that. Very flamboyant. Get it? Because it's like lava, and it swims in lava, but it's also flamboyant. It's a double pun. It's only meant to be a single one, but it was a double one. Can we do it with like... I forgot about that. This isn't going to look great. No. The two laughs. These are the worst in Ark. Oh, the dinos, yes. Sorry, for some reason I always get like... There's that sort of genre of games, and I always get them mixed up with like Ark and Rust and the Forest and all that sort of stuff. Going for double nostrils, but it does look a little bit blushy. Diddling! What was this?
Don't hurt me, I'm just a whittle snake.
Oh, it's just a little snake. And by whittle we of course mean like, again, like, it's always good to have a mo for perspective. By whittle we mean massive. All random bosses in this game are huge. Most of the plot bosses are quite small, but the random ones are always huge. So I was trying to get with sort of the perspective, it sort of foreshortening as it goes up. Don't think it's going to work really, but hey, what can you do? You can only try. That tongue is causing havoc with tangents. Tangents? Sounds disgusting. Plot bosses are just people. So Shrimp God will make up for it, yes. I'm hoping the last boss is... How are we going to know when we get to the last boss? That's a question. We're just going to have to make every boss as if it's the last boss. And then if another boss symbol shows up, we're like, okay, we need to make it bigger. Or smaller. You can go for that thing where the final boss is actually not big or intimidating and it's kind of weird and creepy. I always like that. Big fan of the weird, creepy bosses. They're like, why are you so intimidating even though you're not big? Yeah. As they design every boss like it's the last boss. Final boss is just a literal shrimp. Yeah, there's definitely precedent for that. And we could also do the classic, you know, penultimate boss. We fight Shrimp God. Everything's grand and great. We save the day, and then random other evil entity shows up and like, no, I'm the final boss. You've never heard of me before, but I'm the final boss now. You're painting in the plot bosses as Bob Rosses. No. We don't have Armageddon, we just have happy little accidents. Bob Rosses are good. Keeping the fin idea going, because why not? The greater skirted lava snake. And this little accident gonna kill you. But that's fine. We'll just beat the devil out of you. Sorry, Mo, you're getting at least partially covered in for now. We can do some basic shading while we're here. Nothing too fancy, just get the ideas down. For what I'm mainly here for. Yes, arguably we want it to be like that, don't we? Because I want magma glow. Like that. And also, in reference to the original chip drawing, you have the sort of veins of Lava. Magma. The tongue is obviously incandescent. It's full of magma. Making the teeth shine. Listen to this lovely calming music over the top of me drawing this giant lava snake. Ah, Hadrian von Ziegler. You do us such a service. Which reminds me, our sponsors this week are Adrian von Ziegler Corps. Opens his fins when it's about to breathe fire or spit lava, there for judging distances to targets. Ooh. I missed that last time, sorry. You painted the giant lava snake of cutenesses. Cute. And what happens is when you defeat him, he goes poof, and a bunch of magic. Flies out and goes into the machine and revives all the friends. And then it returns to its original size, which is like a little handful of lava snake. And it plops back into the lava and swims away. Sure, that'll do. Actually, hang on, one more thing. Do all that, and then make sure that here is to give the good contrast. There we go, lava snake. And a boss. And thus, we revive our previously unrevived. That's not the word. Oh, I guess it is, but it's a word, I suppose. Friends. Also, I think no, I didn't. Cool. So here they were. And now here they're going to be again. Right, while I'm drawing this, we're going to have to work out where the last area of the game is. How we're going to get to it, what our plan is. I guess the plan in general is scientists are going to work on a machine that's going to focus all the energy back out into where it needs to be. Meanwhile, we have to go and get the energy back. We need to dissipate the energy by defeating the thing that took it in the first place. Where, why, how, who, and when. These are the questions, because we are going to the final location in the game. We are reaching the end of 16 symbols. Still a good few streams in this left, but I've got to draw another 10 bosses probably. I seem to remember increasing the probability of the boss rush symbol appearing in the final column, because that's pretty typical for these games. I don't remember including anything that said there can't be more than one, so I really hope that there's only one. Shremple, look up and see Shremple. Shrimp Temple. The Shremple. Usually in these things you go to some sort of weird metaphysical place, so maybe we go to Shremple, and then as we fight, things get weird. There's a portal. We introduced portals earlier in the story. We can have a portal turn up, and there's we're going into alternate universe Shremples. Or Shrempler, as they're called. Shortle. Portal. It's the Shremple Prontal. Again, the combination of writing the script for the new video and this conversation is just, my brain has said too much nonsense today. Because I write the scripts for those videos almost in real time, and it's just my brain blurting out nonsense and into Notepad. It's a good thing I use Notepad, otherwise spell check would just have a field day. Just give up, Christy Brain. It's okay. You can sleep for today. No, I can't. I've got another 25 minutes of stream. Okay, so it makes sense that we go to Shremple. Is Shremple... Where is Shremple? Was Shremple the one that behind the lab, or was Shremple like in the cave from earlier? Presumably it's in a cave. Suddenly you do like, and then I shortled, which was so embarrassing. Where is anything in this world? That is to be decided during our recap streams when we finish this. That's one thing I was going to say, is that we were talking about having like streams where we sort of properly flesh out the plot and stuff like that. Have a bunch of people on stream. We make a map. That's ambitious. We can cut it short. That's like, no, I'm not that bad. It's just there's only so much nonsense the brain can take, and you have to reset it with actual sentences. But yes, I was thinking about doing the recap streams, sort of swapping the Saturday game stream with the draw through stream. So I play games on Tuesday, Wednesday, and then have Saturday, Sunday be art streams, and then on the Saturday we can do a recap stream, and then that way hopefully Ragdoll will be free, and they can join in. You mean not you, because you refused to ever make a map again? It was a good map. I've committed myself to drawing this now, and I've got to work out 10 characters in a tube suddenly gaining sentience in a way that makes sense. Maybe so, but also no. You made another map for the last time. It was just like an existing map with words on it. It's like, that does the job. That tells us where the things we need to know are. It's a map. It also has a smiley face on it now. And some fun quotation marks. Where do you begin with this? It was fine when they were all ignoring each other, but now they're in there. And they're awake. A smiley was not by you, so you take no credit for it, but you allowed it to exist. Would you say that Mojang didn't create Minecraft because people can create their own stories while playing it? No. Actually, yes, because it was made by Hatsune Miku, if I remember correctly. We can chat the rest of the stream. No, I want to do this. This is going to be a fun drawing. I've just got to work out how. But you lovely as friends. I'm interested to know what that means. We have the knife again. Yeah, I was going to put the knife in there because Grigori knows well enough not to have Wick wake up without a knife. Wick will not like waking up without a knife. That's more dangerous than Wick waking up with a knife. Okay, well, we can start with the crystal being in there and going foosh. And there's a bunch of mystical magical energy floating around. Sure. Meg steps out of the tube and immediately runs to the shadows to buy a knife from Kijiro. I still feel slightly bad that we designed Kiro in the game as a character, as like a birthday present, and just never used them. Again, there's a good reason we never used them. It's like a weapons dealer with a party of people who don't use weapons. Nobody else was where Kijiro was there. Nope, connecting to chat. Welcome to the chat room. Thanks, Twitch. Kijiro is just always there. Never any custom, but they're always there. Just redo the sign. Anyone need knives? In the recap, we insert Kijiro. Which I think Kijiro could be like a kind of comic relief sort of thing. Just like constantly pestering the team. So I've got better weapons now. I use a broom. I was going to do that as a video, actually. I was going to try and do a designing JRPG weapons, but like the broom and the rolling pin. But like in like JRPGs, they get like more and more complex and intricate designs the better they are. I was going to do that for a broom and a rolling pin and stuff like that, but I never really got around to it. Which is one of my ideas for videos that I never got around to. So like, what would the top tier epic rolling pin look like? You know. I can't even remember what's going on in here. Oh, that's Gil. I forgot about Gil down there squashed against the glass. Yeah, maybe we'll do that. Weapon stream. Yeah, we can do it as a stream. I don't know how interesting it would be. Krog. I prefer Krog to JRPG. Is Adrian Von Ziegler? Oh, Adrian Von Ziegler's being quiet. It's the final track on the Adrian Von Ziegler Celtic music albums. Always a nice, calm, quiet track. What genre is Krog? It's the best genre. Can't really have Gil look up, really, can you? Don't have eyeballs. Loaf's just being a good. So it's probably quite difficult to see. I don't know if Gil's loot is intact. 16 Symbols is a Krog genre game. Or a genre specific to this game. It's written on all the promotional material and no one knows what it means. The best Krog game you've ever played. I'm sorry, the best what? It's Krog like you wouldn't believe. "10 out of 10 says Krog Games Monthly." A publication that we set up. Really weird thing to say, but Gil made you think of it. You got the hugest friggin' mushroom the other day, and the gills were so soft. Oh. I forgot that's why we called him Gil. How's Jethro going to work? Because at the moment he's just a bundle of sticks and a hollowed out turnip. Kind of reminds you of something in Xenosaga. One of the most powerful characters uses gloves as weapons and uses his hands in battle, and the more powerful gloves get thinner and thinner. His most powerful weapons are holily gloves, aka gloves with holes in them. He was the most powerful thing about himself. And it turns out the most powerful weapon was yourself. All along. Peridot is not impressed. Also, some JRPGs do have joke weapons, like brooms and pitchforks and frying pans and stuff. You like the thought of them not being joke weapons and getting more and more intricate. Yeah, I always like sort of like the designs. Oh, hang on, if I get like... Because if somebody asked me to draw a sword, I would just draw a sword, right? But there's so many different ways of drawing a sword. It's just really, really interesting to me. And I want to try that, but with rolling pins and brooms. And this is why I was asking, like, oh, what's every character's weapon in 16 Sim? What does Jethro use? A flower, etc. I was trying to work out what the weapons would look like. It's just a cool design. So here's like Final Fantasy IX concept art. Like, it's a sword. It's like you just design like cool sword. I don't know why there's an eye in it, but there's a sword. So these are two different swords, and they just have completely different like structural bitses and bobses. And then there's another sword, it's all pink, shiny, and there's another sword, and it's all chunky and stuff. Oh, look at these things. It's really cool. Really neat. I want to do stuff like that. Anyway. Now that comment you didn't get, you knew you were missing stuff today? What? Who? Where? Now I'm missing things. What's happening? Oh. Swords can be anything. You just have to believe. You didn't know FF9 had Soul Edge. Oh, you forgot about it. Apparently that's the Blood Sword, which is just that's a general weapon, a recurring weapon in the games. It's just a sword that absorbs the health that you attack. Don't know why it has an eye. Not a clue. Oh, sword is a state of mind. Didn't get the comment about brooms. Did I make a comment about brooms? I was just saying I wanted to make just interesting broom designs. Chat did thinking it was Kira. Again, what? I'm confused. Never mind. It's fine. We can move on and live happily ever after. If I was the sort of person who wanted to know absolutely everything, I wouldn't have gotten into maths. If you go into maths because you want to know everything, you're going to be severely disappointed. Oh, you answered her and that's how you know you're not getting all the chats. I see. When you said you were missing stuff, I thought you meant you weren't understanding something. And I was like, oh, what can I explain? What's missing? And so on and so forth. No. It's just Twitch is not showing you all of the chat because that happens because Twitch is annoying. Yeah, the joke weapons comment. Yes. Yes, Kira said, also some JRPGs also have joke weapons, the brooms and pitchforks and frying pans and stuff, but you like the idea of them not being joke weapons and getting more and more intricate. That's the thing. Twitchman is feasting on comments. I know. I haven't dropped any frames. Frame Man has evidently filled himself up on the beginning of Sunday stream, where they decided to just eat 6,000 frames off the bat. Also, I think Death Row has a bit of hair. By which I mean leaves. Twitchman, on the other hand. I know. Mr. Ziegler's being quiet still. Let me know if you want me to skip to the next album and get some fun sounding music going. Sorry, I thought a spider was on my desk. It was an eyelash just fell off my face. Someone let Wick out of the tube. Now! They have power here. They're one of the few who can move around freely in this confined space. Yes, we've still got the sticks up here. Who else? Gonna have little Jabbar friend under here, Bramble. Colin! This has like a metallic tail as well, if I remember correctly. Doesn't... Not that I can get an awful lot of fidelity in this drawing, but... am I missing anyone? You got Colin, you got... Oh, Onion. Onion's just rolled over here now. There we go. And thus, they leaved. By which I mean lived. Let's do this the easier way. Let's use a quick brush to get most of it done. No? Oh, the opacity is quite far down. Oops. Boom! Flash! Ah! Saviors of the familiars! Most important character, optional Onion. They're back! Now we have a very, very, very big party, yes. So I guess I should add them back into the party. Oh dear. Okay, I'm gonna try and rearrange this a little bit to have it in what I think to be a sensible order, by which I mean is probably largely in story order. I don't know if any of these are capitalized. We're just gonna have to deal with if it's wrong, I guess. Yeah, Jethro. That. Colin. Or not. Union. I guess Gabe? Is Gabe gonna join? Are the villains gonna join for the final area? Oh, and Wick. Wick and Gabe. I mean, they're just gonna come up as... I don't have images for them. They're definitely gonna be broken. Yeah, okay, they're the only ones that are broken. That's good. That's fine. Yes, okay. Okay, let's make little quick images for them. Strems. Sorry, I don't know why I'm reading out the directory I'm clicking on. What do you want to go? Do you want to go into desktop, then the folder arty stuff, and then the folder that says streams, another folder that says draw throughs, another folder that says 16 symbols, then go to avatars. No, sorry, not avatars, web stuff, then OBS overlay, IMGS, short for images, you know, and then open up the avatars file. This is where you'll find the thing this is going to make the thing with. If you back up to the 16 symbols folder, instead go into avatars, you'll find a picture of Wick. If you drag it into the Clip Studio file, then you can just resize it and use that as the portrait for Wick. You see? Because we already have a picture of Wick, so we might as well use the picture of Wick. There it is. It's Wick. We can export that in avatars as Wick. This is how streams end, right? This is by which I mean this is how I destroy my reputation and nobody comes back. That's what's happening. Also, music. Okay, now I need one for Gabe. Have I done a good drawing of Gabe? I am going to go and grab the drawing I think I did with the phone box. Oh no, that's not very good because it's just... Well, actually it might work. Let's drag it in. Is that Gabe? That's Gabe now. I'm not going to use the Gabe with the sign. I probably should have. I quite like that one. Okay, let's get the Gabe with the sign. Fine, makes more sense. I could also go for this one as well. There's Gabe. With a little hat. Yeah. It's Gabe with a hat. Or I can do the proper drawing. Yes, I know, I'm replacing the silly one. Right, and if I tell these to go away and then tell them to come back. Hopefully. Hey, look at that. There we go. You have the full, massive party. How many is that? 12? Yeah, it's not that big. You know, like FF7 has like 9. FF8 has 6. 7, I guess. FF9 has 8. I guess 12 is quite big. But, you know, 4 of them are well, 5 of them are villains, so it kind of makes sense. Yeah, you can separate it into the left-hand side, which are the heroes, and the right-hand side, which are the villains and optional characters. Onion is arguably a villain, that's fair. Yeah, when I say it's optionally a character, what I mean is you make a choice and Onion does the opposite. If you say, I don't want you in the party, Onion will join and make your party worse. You don't get a choice as to when Onion joins a fight. It just happens and kicks out another player. Laughs in Trails of Cold Steel. Oh no, I thought I was being silly. Oh no, in terms of numbers of characters, I see. Right. I was going to say, there's a character that invades your party. But yeah, I know about... But I don't know, I didn't know about the Trails of Cold Steel, but I know there are definitely JRPGs with very large character rosters. I mean, I think Final Fantasy VI has 20. So... But there are definitely more. What was that one that... I don't think it's a sort of your standard JRPG, I think it's a tactics game, but the one that BDG did... Here are all of the characters, but they're basically all the same. Oh, can we see the next symbol? We can think of something for next time. Okay, cool. So we're going to the final location. The final frontier. Trails of Cold Steel is ridiculous. Don't worry about that. I was going through my Steam stuff the other day, and I don't know if I had a Trails. It might be Trails or Trials game. I can't remember which one it was. But I was like, I don't remember getting this, but I have it. We think of me, we'll all ignore it till next time, and then panic when Ragdoll does actual thinking. Ragdoll is the brain cell for us. Okay, cool. And the first symbol here, what are we gonna guess? I'm gonna guess Boss Rush, straight off the bat. Or Fire Emblem, that's what that was. Yes. I keep forgetting to sew up my glove. It's slowly coming apart. I wouldn't mind, but I sewed up a different part of it that was not necessary, and then forgot to sew up the bit I actually needed to sew up. Ragdoll's teacher genes. So this is why I didn't go into teaching. Just have too much fun prattling around. Ignore the syllabus. That's always my favourite thing when I worked as as a teaching assistant at my old secondary school. I used to get to take little groups of students out of the class, either those that were falling a little bit behind or those that were rushing ahead, and have a little more tailored class for them. And that was great, because you could just, come up with the stuff that's interesting and, have fun trying to teach them stuff. Great. Actually trying to follow a rigid structure, I don't know how well I'd do with that. I'd probably be fine, I'd probably settle into it, but my inclination would be to try and find ways to have fun. And make it more engaging, possibly at the detriment of getting ready for the exams. Anyway, the symbol. I reckon Boss Rush. Boom. We get a MacGuffin! Are we ever going to use this MacGuffin, or... The first thing that happened. No, we're gonna get more crystals or something, right? We're gonna go to the Shremple, and we're gonna find something there that's gonna help us with our plan, get more crystals or something, and that's gonna open the portal, and that's how we're gonna get to the proper final area and actually do a thing, right? Right? Shremple, more crystals, go through Shortle, it's all good, it's fine. Then we've got the rest of the story to happen. We already know what the last symbol is, that's plot. But that does leave 6 symbols in between, which are probably mostly going to be bosses. I really was expecting that to be some boss symbol, but apparently not. Okay. Sure. Sure, 16 symbols, you've, never be predictable. Right. Well, that's that. Thanks for coming to the stream. I think we came up with some good ideas today. Wasn't quite the exhausted struggle that it was last time. It was fun. We came up with this idea of the machine reviving all the characters and finding the snack to get the energy to put into the machine, and it all came together with only 2 symbols. We also met some of Doug's characters, finally. Despite them being written prior to starting this. in March or whenever it was. Ragdoll gave me some good brain juice. Yes, indeed. Yay! Dark's contributions are actually finally happening. It only took to the end of the thing. Oh dear. More OCs. I don't know how many more characters we're going to meet, but if we meet, like, a new character has, like, the penultimate symbol. You were going to say from beyond the grave, but Ragdoll isn't dead. So tired. From beyond the stream grave, which is just a temporary grave. It's just a nice little... It's a nice warm hole in the ground that you can just rest in between streams. Pleasing. Cozy. Ragdoll, sorry. We have a whole super advanced city. They must have some sort of MacGuffin. No, we've left. We've left there. We're going to Shrample now. Shrample. It's your turn in the stream grave. I hope you have a lovely turn in the stream grave. While you're there, I'm going to set up for tomorrow's stream. Which is going to be more Alone in the Dark 2. I don't know how much more there is. It's just getting more and more obtuse. I say it's getting more and more obtuse. I broke the game. I broke... Oh, hey, Kingfed. I forgot about that. I forgot I added that. You love the command. I'm glad I added it. It very rarely gets tripped up, though. And there's the complimentary one as well. But yeah, so Alone in the Dark, I like skipped an entire big chunk of the actual puzzle solving at the start of the game and instead just beat people to death in a doorway. So who knows what misadventures lie for the rest of the game. Yeah. We'll see. And yeah, as I said earlier, Dark inexplicably gifted me a game today. And we'll probably play that after Alone in the Dark, which was not the plan. But I definitely want to play it because one of the developers' previous games was very, very good. And I want to play it blind because of that. Need a command for every part of the Witch Doctor song. Who's going to type Ting? Or Walla? Just do the most obnoxious Twitch chat sings Witch Doctor song ever. And spoopy, so if it's the month. Exactly, otherwise I'd wait till after the month, but I was like, no, this is a spoopy game. So yeah, it'll be fun. It seems interesting. I don't really know what it is, which is kind of fun. I like that. I think it's card-based, but it's also puzzly and something else. I don't know, it's weird. It looks like it's got very good atmosphere. And the previous game of the developer that I played was called Pony Island. Was wonderfully meta and had some interesting sort of fourth wall stuff and ideas of breaking what you think the game is about and all that sort of thing. So I'm hoping that sort of comes up, that sort of thing brings itself into it. Yeah, spoops. I don't know how actually spoopy it is. It got released today, so... but I've heard very good things from people who played previews. So, yeah. Spoops! Ah, this is the spoops. Is palindrome. Oops. If it's not spoopy, we'll riot. If it is spoopy, we'll hide in the stream grave. It's definitely got twisted horror stuff. Ooh. I know, like I say, it's very atmosphere. There's like stuff. You're playing a card game against something with like faces obscured in the darkness. It's fun. Speaking of spoops, you made it to the last boss of Metroid Dread, died over and over again, went screw this, stop playing. We'll try again another time when you're not frustrated. You'll probably do it like first try when you go back, when you've... Frustration halves your gameplay ability. It's amazing. It was exactly the same for me for like Bloodborne. Like as soon as you get frustrated, just stop playing, calm down, come back. Oh, I'm a lot better now. Yeah, looking forward to spoops. We'll see. See how spoopy it is. Yeah, turns out I'm not going to be playing an old janky game. Well, we're playing Alone in the Dark 2. Should be fine. We don't need another old janky horror game this year. We can save that to next year. And then we're definitely going to play Resident Evil. It's probably going to be after the month at this point, but I want to play Resident Evil because I was going to play it last year. But I know I'm going to run out of time. Can play it this year. You found that too, so welcome to the few other games too. Yeah. Play the Residents and the Evils. Indeed. Both. Yes. So that's going to be fun. We'll do Alone in the Dark 2 Wednesday. Maybe start new game. It feels like we're kind of near the end of Alone in the Dark. We're on the ship, I guess. Maybe that's the last area. I don't know. I don't know. We'll find out. And then more games on Saturday. Sunday will be doodle streams with friends. And Chibi will be streaming on Thursday, I assume, all being well. What else? What else is there? I don't know. Got to the end of Battle Block Theatre, got frustrated and gave up for the night, slept, played it again the next day, did it first try. Yeah, Resident Evil. I've never played a Resident Evil, so I've got the remake, the original remake. The original remake? The remake of 1. Yeah. Yes, Thursday stream, hooray. No idea what to stream as per usual, need to find something to stream. Drawing the sketches for the draw share thing, that'd be fun. Might miss Thursday stream, you're working, hope you have fun. I hope work goes well. Yes. Words. I've been doing this for 3 years. Still. No idea how to end a stream. Thing is, like, even if I did work out a way of ending the stream, I would get bored of it within 2 streams. So it's the spontaneity that's fun, you know. That's what they call you, good old ideas, Crispum. Not sure they do, but, well, one person has at least once, so can't complain too much. Yeah, have a wonderful week, everybody. I'm going to leave you to the soothing tones of Mr. Von Ziegler and his Celtic music playlists. Words are hard. The hell. Yeah, have a wonderful week. I'll be back tomorrow. If you're not there, have a great week. If you are there, also have a great week. But you'll see me during it. So, whether that makes it better or worse remains to be seen. Alone in the Dark might just make it worse. Who knows? We'll find out. Apparently the third one's the worst. That'll be fun next year. Anyway, have a grand old time. Thanks for coming along. Hope you had a good time. Goodbye. Thank you. Goodbye. Goodbye. Thank you. Goodbye.